Hi, okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how I created this makeup look. I did this using the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe, which I love so much and I'm really excited to use it on my channel. I bought it the first release date, so I got one of the first palettes and I've used it almost every single day since. You can see it's very dirty. I've used it a lot, so yeah, I'm really excited to use it on my channel. Definitely one of my favorite palettes I've ever purchased. Also, just a little reminder to follow me on my other social media platforms, so Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. I post a lot of my work on Instagram and as well on Snapchat. A lot of the time I'll post when I'm filming and I'm about to post a video, so if you're interested in anything like that, give me a follow and also feel free to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so I have already moisturized my face and primed my face. For primer, I use this e.l.f. Illuminating Face Primer, which honestly I don't totally love for increasing the longevity of my makeup, but however, I do like the finish that it gives my foundation, so that is why I use this. I have a little mirror down here, so if I keep looking downwards, that's why. So for foundation, what I've been using lately is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation, which I've been loving a lot. It doesn't stay on super long. I definitely wouldn't say it's like a 24-hour foundation or anything like that. However, I do like the finish of it and the coverage that it gives me, and I like the fact that you can either have like full coverage or more natural looking foundation. It's very buildable, so this is what I'll be using. I do have the lightest shade, which is actually too light for me right now, but I did this on purpose because my contour and my bronzer are a little bit too dark for me because summer's over and I'm now super pale again. I use a foundation that's a little bit too light for me, so that it kind of evens out once I use my contour and my bronzer, and it looks like it actually matches. I just apply this right to my face. It's very liquidy, the consistency of it, so I just put it all over. And then for this, I always use a brush to apply it. I don't use my beauty blender only because I feel like because the consistency of the foundation is so liquidy that it soaks in too much of the product. I find that I get more coverage when I use a brush. So I'm just using a flat top brush and I just stipple it all first, and then I'll use circular motions to blend it out. Now after I blend out with a brush, sometimes I'll just go in with my beauty blender just to ensure that there's no streaky marks or lines. Now I'm going to use my Maybelline New York Master Conceal Concealer, and I just apply this with my finger because I feel that I get the most coverage that way. Next, I'm taking my NYX Wonder Stick to contour, and I'm just using the darker side. And I just blend that out with a MAC foundation brush. Now when you're contouring your jawline, I never used to do this before, but lately I've been doing it. You always want to make sure that you bring it down your neck so that you don't get that harsh line. And next I'm just going to set where I've concealed with my Rimmel London Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder in Transparent, and I'm using I'm using a kabuki brush to apply that. And I always apply a lot of powder under my eyes and on my nose just because I feel like that's where my makeup comes off most easily. And after that is all set, I am going to continue contouring with this Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette. I've been using this lately instead of my Hoola bronzer because I feel like the Hoola bronzer has a lot of orange undertones to it, where this is a little bit cooler. It's still on the warm side. I would like a cooler bronzer, especially being so pale. I need more of like a gray toned powder to contour, but this is all that's kind of readily available to me now, so I'm going to apply this with an angled brush. And I'm just using a smaller kind of fluffy brush to contour my nose with the same powder. You want to use a very small amount of contour powder on your nose. Okay, now to blend out that contour a little bit so it's not so harsh, I'm using this Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. It says it's for darker skin. It's just a really nice like warm bronzer. This is probably my favorite bronzer ever. It's very, very inexpensive and it smells like coconuts, which is nice. So I just apply that just above my contour and almost just over it as well, just to blend it out a little bit, and I'm using a really big fluffy powder brush. And now to highlight, I'm going to start with this Maybelline Strobing Liquid. I have it in the color Light. I really like this product a lot. It sits well over foundation, which is nice. I used the Cover FX Enhancer Drops for a long time and applied it like directly on my cheekbones, but I found that it almost made my foundation separate throughout the day, whereas this won't do that. So the Cover FX drop liquids. I still love them, but I would use it more mixed with foundation to create more of a dewy finish, whereas this is good to apply literally right over to really create that strobe effect. So I just use it on my finger and I just dab it. You still want to dab because there's always a chance that you're going to disrupt your foundation. And I just use my finger and I dab it just on the highest parts of my cheekbones first. And a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to use a ton of this product. And then I put a little bit on my cupid's bow and just the tiniest amount on the tip of my nose as well. And then I'm taking this Essence Metal Glam eyeshadow. This isn't a highlighter, but highlighter pretty well is just eyeshadow. This is very, very inexpensive and very reflective. You can see how much I use it. I use it literally every day for my highlight. So I just take that brush and I really get in there, getting lots of product on it, and I pat it right where I've applied that strobing liquid. And I'm not sure if you can see on camera, but it really helps to set it and make it look like a really nice glow to it. And this has gold tones in it. The strobing liquid has more kind of like silvery violet tones. So they almost work together to make kind of like a neutral looking highlight. It looks kind of more goldy, which I think suits my skin tone a little bit more. So that's why I really like to use this eyeshadow. And now I'm going to fill in my brows. I probably won't get too technical on how I do this because everyone fills in eyebrows differently. I'll still include it, but so I use this Ardell brow pomade in blonde. It's pretty well exactly the same as the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, but much less expensive, and it comes with this brush as well. So it's just an angled brush, and then it has the spoolie on the end. I might have to almost like get cut out a little bit for this because I kind of have to get close up for my eyebrows. And I always set under my brows with just a white eyeshadow. I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, but today I will be using my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, which has been my favorite palette lately, especially for fall. There's so many warm tone eyeshadows in here. You can see it's very dirty that I've used it a lot. I was actually sent that chart with all of the names on it, so I kind of have to look off my phone to tell you what I'm using. My plan today is to either do a halo eye or a legit like smoky eye. It's probably going to end up being a halo eye. That's what I've been using, or that's what I've been wearing a lot lately. So I'm going to start off with Silk Cream, which is kind of a lighter warm brown shade, and I'm just putting that in my crease as my transition shade. I literally use this color as my transition shade like almost 100% of the time. And these blend out super, super easily, so I'm literally being so messy with this and just making sure it's super blended. And I'm just running a little bit of this under the eye as well. It's easier for me when I do my top lid and bottom lid at the same time, because you want to make sure you're applying the same like shades in the top and bottom so they'll kind of match, unless you're going for something different, but it'll blend a lot better and match a lot better if you do the top and bottom at the same time. Okay, and then next I'm going to go in with called Pukey. So it's another brown shade. I guess the Pukey Brown, that's a pretty good name for it actually. And again, I'm kind of doing the same thing as I did with the first shade. Okay, now I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush and go in with Hunt's, which is a really nice orange shade, and I'm going to apply it on the outer corner of my eye as well as the inner corner, and then blend into the crease. So this is how you create a halo eye. And I'm going in with my fluffy brush that I used before, the bigger one, and just blending that out even more. And I'm also applying that under the eye, as I said before, keeping it kind of on the same level as the upper lid. So now I'm going to take kind of a denser, this is just the one that came with my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I'm going to go with, don't know what they're called, Roxanne. And I'm going to take that, and again just apply it on the outer and inner corners of the eye. But the reason why I'm taking this brush is I don't want this to be blended out quite as much as that orangey shade, so I want to keep it a little bit neater. And then I'm taking that smaller fluffy brush again and just really carefully and lightly blending that. This isn't too dark, so you don't have to be super, super careful, but you don't want to blend it out as far as all those other shades. And you can already see that halo effect kind of forming already. So you're not applying any shadow into the center of the lid. It's okay if a little bit of it kind of like gets in there just from you blending, because I am going to put a metallic shadow over top, but just be careful to avoid that area. Okay, next I'm going to go in with Jack's, which is a very deep red shade, and do the same thing. Just as we go darker, you don't want to blend it out quite as much. And next we're going to do the same thing with Chip, which is a deep, it's kind of brown, but it has a lot of like violet in it, so it's almost purple. And just a little bit of that, just to deepen it up a little bit and to create a little bit more dimension. Halo eyes are all about contrast. Adding a brown too, you could even go in with Central Park, which is more of a mocha brown. Kind of just to, if you want this look to be a little bit more wearable, maybe you're not super comfortable with wearing bright shadows. Not that these are super bright, but if you've never worn, you know, like oranges or red colors before, but maybe you want that kind of look, you can use Central Park or something like a neutral or a mocha brown, kind of just to almost diffuse those colors a little bit and make them look a little bit more wearable, not so bright. So sometimes you can lose a little bit of those colors when you go in and when you're blending so much. So I'm going to go back in with Hunt's and just apply that in the crease. This will help to blend it a little bit more too. So I'm liking how this is looking, so I'm going to go in with my middle shade, which I'm going to use Beam, which is an amazing, amazing color. I've literally almost already hit pan on that color because it's so beautiful, it's so reflective. It's the perfect just like white highlight color. I'm going to use this NYX Dewy Finish setting spray and just spray a little bit of that on my brush. I'm just using a flat brush, and I'm taking that Beam color and applying that just in the center where you can see I haven't applied any shadow, and just patting that on. You can see how reflective that color is. It's so pretty, and it creates a lot of contrast for a halo eye. And then I'm just going back in with my blending brush a little bit, being careful not to go over that color, but just making it blend in a little bit more. And I'm also going to apply that color just on the inner corner of the eye. Okay, and now before I apply eyeliner or mascara, I'm going to set my face with that NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I always do this before my mascara and eyeliner because when you spray it over mascara or eyeliner, especially if it's not waterproof, it can run down your face and ruin your whole makeup. So, and I really, really like this spray a lot. I do find that it actually does help keep my makeup on, and I love the finish that it gives my foundation. This is usually when I send my Snapchats out to my friends for streaks. I'm so proud of my hair. It's actually getting healthy now, and my curls are coming back a little bit. Now I'm gonna get like 100 notifications from Snapchat. That was kind of dumb. It's gonna like go off the whole time. If you hear buzzing, that's what it is. Okay, now for eyeliner, I'm actually gonna go in with this lip liner by NYX. It's called Burgundy. I've been doing this a lot lately where I don't just use black in my waterline. I'll use an actual like lip liner or a colored pencil. I just really like the effect that it gives, and I feel like because I have green eyes, by putting like a red or a pink in my waterline, it really helps to contrast with my, or sorry, complement my eye color. If I put a green in my waterline, it really helps for my eyes to stand out a lot. So if you've never done that before, I do suggest, especially people with blue eyes. I know my best friend, she has beautiful like icy blue eyes, and she'll put a blue liner in her waterline, and it really helps for her eyes to pop. So I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Base, which is just a mascara primer, and then also the Voluminous Mascara afterwards. I hope I'm like loud enough today. I have a lot of people comment and be like, I can't hear you, please be loud, which is like story of my life. Okay, I actually haven't worn this for a long time, but I guess today is the day. Snapchat. I'm going to use this Tarte lip paint in Throwback Thursday, or TBT. I used to wear this like every day. I don't know why I stopped. I literally use all my makeup like to the last drop. Like I will cut open my concealer tube if I feel like there's a little bit left in there. That's the look. I'm gonna do my hair and I will come back and film an outro. Okay, so I just did my hair and everything. This is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to like it, and also feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also feel free to follow me on my social media platforms, which I will put somewhere around here. And comment on this video, let me know what you think of the look, and if anyone tries to recreate this look at all, if you have the Jaclyn palette or you use some other palette to create a similar look, send me pictures and let me know how it worked out for you. Okay, thanks so much.